Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Patrick Johnston. I'm the co-owner of and managing broker of Go Dominican Life, a real estate company right here in the Dominican Republic. It is currently May 26th at 4:48, and I think I need another coffee. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about management in the series, property management and short-term rentals, and why it's great, why it's fun, and why it's a challenge. The previous video, if you watched it, we talked about why choose us. This one's now about marketing and what we do with marketing to make your asset shine. Because in the business, we remember that TV commercial that says, set it, Ron Popeil, set it and forget it, with the chicken rotisserie grill, that kind of thing. I think people in our clients or prospective clients believe that property management is about us just signing a one-page or two-page contract, putting your 12 photos on Airbnb, sitting back and watch the money just friggin' flow in like Lamborghinis and sunsets and high-end cocktails. And I think we're about to tell you that is, if I could bleep this out, that's a lie. There is a platform like Airbnb or anything else is a platform, which is a foundation, but it's what you put into the foundation, how you make the foundation, and then the things you put around that foundation that make the product shine or not. So let's talk about deep marketing. Let's go in the order. Let's do it like we go through the onboarding process, right? So let's talk about marketing. So first thing we do, we take a property and we onboard it, and we're walking through it, and we already are making mental notes of the things that we need to reposition in the house, whether it's a furniture thing, whether it's a painting thing, whether it's a cleaning thing, a lighting thing. As funny as it sounds, the revarnishing of a wood front door because it looks like faded from the sun. All of these come out to be marketing things. So why don't we talk about photos, video, and drone work first? Because no, let's not do that. Let's talk about staging and why that is important before we get photos, videos, and drone.
Yes, staging is important because you're trying to create.
Sorry. This is Peter Noel. Peter is my business partner in this business. Peter does all the digital marketing and ensures that he drives the rates, drives the revenue, and keeps clients happy. My role is operationals, ground support, structure, payables, client support, et cetera, et cetera. Sorry about that, Peter. Now go ahead. Talk about...
No, it's okay. I think people recognize it from the last couple of videos, hopefully. Staging is crucial. You're trying to create an experience. You're not selling. And if you're selling your asset, if it's for sale, it's a different type of photo that you would put online. If you're putting this particular property, a villa or apartment, and you're trying to rent it on a short-term basis, you want to create that experience. The potential guest must feel and envision themselves in the property. So the type of photos, the type of videos, the angle, the lighting, the staging, the props is all about creating an experience. So hopefully it drives them to click, and as a result, drives them to book your property. So it's not just taking still photos like you do for real estate.
Yeah, I wasn't in the short-term business for 20 years. I was in the long-term, people move in for a minimum of 1 year to decades. And that has a different way of marketing, a different way of positioning and gaining clients, etc. And I remember the day when you said, "Oh, Patrick, we got to do a photo shoot out here. I need a fish. I need 3 bottles of wine. I need a baguette." I'm like, "Oh, just take a photo, man. Just take a photo." So I didn't you look at things from the angle that and then you sort of then open up your eyes to look at it. No, it's true. You don't look at a magazine with a shitty little photo. It's all about imagining yourself in that position,
Right.
at that beach or at that a chaise lounge overlooking the beach and things like that. So we spend a lot of money, and for us, we spend a lot of money on staging, deep cleaning first, then staging. Videographers, we have two videographers, photo drone guys, one in the North Coast based in Sosua, one based here in LT. And then we have a team of editors just to get that stuff organized. But yeah, so that's photos and then video. Very different than real estate sales videos. Right down to the music.
The music also matters. It creates an experience. If you think about it, when you're watching a movie without seeing the beginning of the movie, the music usually depicts the type of movie it is. Generally, think about that for a moment.
Mhm.
You'll never watch an action movie with a love song playing in the beginning.
Yeah,
It's it all has to work. The
yeah,
music, um, the screenplay, the type of lighting. Again, action movies, and I can't think of any movie top of my head right now. But an action movie would have a different type of lighting than a love story, and that's a fact.
hmm
So no, it's it's subliminal. You wouldn't notice, but subconsciously it makes a difference. And that's what we try to create when we have these photos to put online on Airbnb or booking.com. It's all of
yeah,
that that goes into just taking the photo, the type of music, and the music changes depending on the location of the property. Because the
yeah,
location of the property, there's a different demographic generally, depending
yeah.
on where the property is located.
I'm looking forward to expanding on that.
So,
Because it's true. Like, look, I'm in Las Terrenas right now, and Las Terrenas is mostly couples, people that are couples and families, I would say, but mostly couples, and extended family. Um, and that extended family can also be Canadian American or Dominican or from South America. So you have music that can be from all that, right? But generally speaking, it's skip along, happy music, a little bit of light reggae, a little light salsa, that kind of stuff, right? And that attracts and makes that emotional appeal to that video what it is. Sasua is more like going to Las Vegas. You're going with the guys, you're going with a group of girls. It's what happens in Sasua stays in Sasua maybe, and the music to that. And we 'cause remember we did this one video, and it was and what do we put Snoop Dogg in the back, right? And he thought, oh, is this going to fit? I'm like, no, this is perfect because the demographic of that property, specifically groups, larger property, was attracting the music we put on to attract specifically that crowd. Because if we put on the happy-go-lucky classical music, it doesn't turn out to be that way. Can you watch you got a glare on your from the sunset in Toronto right now? Yeah, change your angle a bit. Yeah. So yeah, so it's definitely the music can impact it. Can you imagine if we put like a love song on that property in Sosua? I mean, wow, it just wouldn't work. Or if we put the Snoop Dogg effect on a property in that would never have that market crowd. They just wouldn't understand it. Could turn them off. Just like not having a nice baguette or a fish or a nice bottle of wine.
but what happens is they lose interest. They'll click on the photo. Let's assume they love the photo. They'll click on the photo, and the music is part of what, in addition to the photo, is part of what will keep your attention to continue watching the video to hopefully book that reservation for that particular property.
Mhm,
So if you lose interest for whatever reason, whether it's the photos didn't capture your curiosity or the music didn't keep you engaged, then you move on. So
mhm.
before you book the property, the photos matter, the lighting, the music on the video, And based on that, we're hoping that you click and you book the property. So yes, they can lose interest. And that's also data would show you that. And it's something that we spend a lot of time on in coming up with the right music for the right property, for the right demographic, for the right time as well. This may change in 6 months. We may have to change that video based on what's going on at that time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and we've done that. I mean, literally, like in back in the old school days in my 1.0 life in Canada, doing real estate there for 20 years, we would have to change photos and video based on the season, fall, spring, winter, summer, that kind of thing, right? Because it does have a different appeal. You still have to have the other ones behind the scenes, but here, big and photos, video, and drone work are complementary. It's part of our service that we provide for our clients. So therefore, if a client does an upgrade on anything, new couch, new chair, whatever, we can go in and capture that moment of a specific chair or couch, re-edit a video, replace the photos, and relaunch it. Talk about the example, Peter, of there was a property at Casa Linda. We don't have to mention exactly which one it was, but just in on a platform, the reorganization of photos, what's first, what's second, what's fourth, what's fifth, how that can impact as well.
That's right. The first 5 photos matter. So you wanna be able to strategically choose the right photo, which is what they call the sort of the hero photo, the right photo for that particular property as the first one, and the first 5 photos. The lighting and the type of photo is crucial to, again, the potential guest clicking on that property. We would look at that sometime for hours. Sometimes we may even take another photo shoot before we put that property live because we didn't capture the right angle.
Yeah, and then sometimes we've done it where not this property specifically, I forget which one it was, but let's call it, we chose what we thought were the 5 obvious photos. We'll call it like that. And we weren't getting the momentum that we were going. Then we changed the tail end of those photos and put a couple of them further up at the top. And for an unknown reason, those 2 photos became the mechanism that created the momentum. So we're constant. At your end, you and Rose are constantly looking at photos, uh, the clicks, the reservations, the photos, the video, all of that to see what can we do to change it. Cleaning fee, rate structure, all of it.
Reviews.
Reviews. Yep. Let's talk about the other one that's interesting with that QR codes and the placement of it and why.
The QR codes we put the video, so to speak, the video is attached to the QR code. When you click on the QR code, when you scan the QR code, the potential guest now has the opportunity to view that video.
Because
That QR
video,
code,
none of the platforms allow us to put video.
no, none of the platforms allow to do to put the QR codes on generally with your branding on it. So we don't put the branding, which is the Go Dominican branding on it, because obviously that the guest will then call us directly, and that will be a conflict of interest. So we removed the branding. So we just put the video, and that's allowed. That's allowed. I spoke with Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia. We have written permission. That is allowed, but that QR code allows you in addition to seeing the photos, you actually have an opportunity now to scan the QR code and see a video of the property, which a lot of people like that option.
Yeah, well, video says a million words compared to a still photo. That's obvious, right? Is there many people that do the QR codes in video other than us? Is it a common thing or is it sporadic?
It's not common. I think there's one other company that I found that does the QR codes.
Okay.
Why they don't, it's difficult to say why, but
Mhm.
again, there could be many reasons. But we found that the QR codes to be it draws more traffic.
Yeah.
We've tested out with and without, and there's a 30 to 35% more traffic in terms of clicks on that particular listing with or without the video.
And why I know that most recently, because we're adding more and more properties. I think we had 5 new management contracts uh, this month, May, from over last month. And our marketing director was on vacation, and Peter's like, I need my QR codes. I can't live without my QR codes. Remember that conversation? Because it's the jumping spot from still images. So the very first photo on Airbnb, right in the center, is the QR code, as an example, right? So
That's
people
right.
can see the photo, but everybody knows what a QR code's for now. Like if you're a restaurant, because of COVID, I think it became more legitimate with restaurants and menus and things like that. So it now jumps off, and then people can get. That's where we're talking about music and video and the emotional attachment, and it gives people like a 3D real vision of what the property looks like, rather than a photo. You look, what's over here, because it's outside of the frame. The video tells the whole story and allows people to book. Let's move over to uh, something in the beginning that I didn't really pay attention to that much, but reviews. The importance of the reviews, how it impacts, even if it's we can talk about a brand new property. It's like $1 billion property with $1 room rates and no reviews. That property can have a hard time renting just because there's absolutely no reviews. Talk about that.
That's that's right. Things have changed. Let's say from 2010, 2011, Airbnb really actually changed this more than any other company. But things have changed during that era where the guest is as in much control of the property being successful as you are. So you're in partnership with the guest. Uh, Prior to 2000, 2009, 2008, 2007, you have a property and the owners or the operators, they thought that the guest was should feel privileged to stay at the property. That has changed now that you're in partnership with the guest, because if the guest is not happy and leaves a 1 star or a 2 star, anything below a 4 star review on any platform, a few of those will take you out of business. Your property would be out of your property would either be delisted by Airbnb or Expedia, or you will not get any reservations. It wouldn't be worth. It will take you out of business. So it's crucial. The reviews is something that without a 4 point something review on a continuous basis, your property will not do well.
Let me expand on that because I think it's a personality thing as well. I think you can tell by me by watching some of our videos. I'm the expressive personality. I'm the firecracker. I talk a lot and talk with my hands and this kind of stuff. And I love to give my opinion, and I give you either a 5 star rating or a one or a zero. There's nothing in between. And it's for people like me. Um, it's how the customer service is. So we have a guy on our team. His name's Mike, Big Mike, and he's the teddy bear of customer service. He can take a shitstorm of 17 things that the client has all going wrong. He says, "Yeah, man, I'll be right over there, man. In a second, man." And he can roll over to the property and fix it just by his presence and his what he can do with that with the team. But if it came to me, if I was in charge of customer service like that, we would, you know what I mean? Like I that's not a role that is my uh forte. Now, Peter on the other side, analytical, looking at things, we need Peter's role and his personality type suits the role. And all of these personality types, whether it's a housekeeper or maintenance guy, Peter, Mike, me, Rosa, how we handle those people all end up reflecting in the review, right? It, and the ones that are the hardest people to solve are the ones that never say, like the internal introverted type of client, the renter, that say nothing, don't complain at all, and then leave like this general list of like all the things that went wrong on their holiday altogether. But we could never satisfy that because we never knew about it. So like how we change that. Mike did this on his own. Someone checks in today at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, he calls them in the morning and says, "Hey, I'm just checking in. Want to make sure your first night was good. Do you need any towels? Everything was here. Did you need any recommendations for restaurants, four-wheel rental, or blah 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 blah?" Calls them the next day if they're there for multiple stays, but opens the door for them to say, "Hey, just keep my number. Call me for anything. I'm here." So then it takes away the introverted renter would takes away their fear of, I don't want to bother these people. I want to communicate. The expressive person's like, oh my God, someone is just like me. I can communicate with them. You know what I mean? It's crazy how these reviews completely drive the success or failure of the property. And they really
Let me
do.
expand on that. Let me expand on that uh, for a minute. Verbally, as you said, we have a member of the team, Mike, will reach out to the guest by text or by phone during the stay. Just have an open conversation, open statement of, is everything going okay? If it's not, then we have an opportunity now to fix this situation prior to them leaving a bad review. In addition to that, we have an automatic email that we send to the guest the day after check-in, because there are some guests that will not want to speak with someone directly to complain, not introverted guests, but they're more comfortable writing. A lot of people are comfortable writing something, but if you speak to them directly, they're not comfortable saying it. So to reach that person, we have an automatic email in our system that goes out and speak with that goes out to that guest. The same type of open-ended question. How was your stay so far? Is there anything else we can do for you? That guest may not contact verbally a staff member like Mike, but they may respond to us on email. So we try to capture that uh, to catch a situation before it happens by phone and by email to ultimately get that 5-star review. And if there is an issue during the stay, we will hopefully solve the issue and get that 5-star review at the end. As I said, you're in partnership with the guest. It's not
Yeah.
the other way. It's not the other way around.
The other thing it does, what Mike has been able to do by what you do on email, what he does by way of text or phone call, it builds a personal relationship. So he always ends it at like on the day of checkout. Okay, I'll be there at because checkout's like 11 a.m. kind of thing, right? If it's a Sunday and we know it's not busy the next day, it's not booked for till Tuesday. Hey man, just because Sunday, it's not rented Sunday night. We're not going to clean it Sunday night necessarily. 'Cause it's going to be cleaned the next day. You'll allow them to stay another hour, another 2 hours, whatever. It's the bone, the propina, the tip, the benefit, the extra extension for nothing, the late checkout. We've all had the late checkouts, and we love that. Can I stay till 1 so I can sleep in and have breakfast and then leave, right? Instead of have a last swim. But it also allows us to get then the direct booking or the repeat booking to another property or the same one on their next stay. Because the myth in this game is that everyone is from Canada and the United States that stay in our system. No, 85 to 90% of our clients are Dominican based in the two major cities of Santo Domingo or Santiago. Why? That they are here three, four times a year or five times a year for long weekends. And the Canadian guests may only come for 1 week or 3 days in a year. So the Dominican or the domestic market is fills in 9 months of the year when the gringos come down for like December through March, right? That type of thing. But so then he builds the referral business. Then they refer someone else and they give Mike's direct number. And how that benefits to the owners is that we have a different rate structure, which we'll go into in another video. But it's a lesser rate, lesser cost to take a direct booking than to take a platform booking. So our job is to try to create that image that they come into our system once from the marketing side, and then we keep them because of the customer service, and our number gets passed along. We've seen it here in the hotel where Mike was really friendly with a couple of motorcycle guys from Santo Domingo. And if you know if you know like anywhere in Canada, United States, motorcycle people have an image. Sometimes they're bad boys, what you're gonna do, that kind of image. But realistically, they show up in their leathers and their gear because they're riding from Santo Domingo or Santiago, but they're doctors, engineers, architects, professionals. So Mike had these people at the hotel, and then 3 weeks ago, for one of the long weekends, almost the entire hotel we had about, I don't know, 15 or 20 motorcycles here at the hotel. Why? We put cords out so they could plug into their electric, like a Tesla of a motorcycle, charging their motorcycles. We've had enough supply for them to do that. They felt comfortable with all their buddies all in the same spot, and then you're playing into it, and that was a direct booking in the end. It wasn't like online. So
That's correct. We get about 20 to 25% of our reservations are direct. Um, Generally, they all started as from Airbnb or Booking.com or one of the other platforms. And based on the customer service and based on the service we provide, they then, on maybe once or twice a year, they'll book with us directly. So all based on the type of service. Once you provide that that type of service, you will get the direct bookings.
and the myth that they think is the renter, they believe that they'll get a cheaper rate than booking online. In fact, I don't know, 90%, 95% of the time, the rate is the rate. And they just feel that way. So even me, when I go to Santo Domingo, I generally stay at the same hotel. I look and see what the rate is online. And because, we're a management company, we're operators, we know cost. If I can see it online on booking.com and I can see it, I'll just show up and pay the rate. And I know the rate is going to be the same, but I feel better giving in the client or the owner, they get the extra revenue, and I get hey, Patrick, welcome back. It feels good. And that's that customer service situation that people love. Let's move over to the backbone. The backbone of any management company, us included, is distribution, like being the DJ of multiple properties. When you're a solo operator and you have your Airbnb residential personal account and you have your one property on there, that's interesting. It's easy. You get an email notification. You only have one thing to rent and one night. And most solo people only have it on one channel or maybe two, but they don't have like hundreds of channels. Us, we have all the major channels. Peter will go into more of that. But what the mechanism, like a DJ, doesn't carry around all their inventory like the old days and 12-inch vinyl or CDs and lug around milk crates full of music, right? Now it's about your digital library and how you manage that distribution. And that brings up the topic of platforms and channel managers. Talk about the power of that and the rationale behind it.
Yeah, we use a system that they call the system a channel manager. It's basically sort of an API system that plugs into the various platforms, the Airbnb, the Booking.com, and Expedia, and sort of works as the brainchild of all the platforms, so that to manage the calendar on the various platforms to avoid double bookings. Meaning, someone books today on Airbnb, it's the channel manager or the API system blocks that day off, so someone from who's looking at Booking.com on the same date is unable to book that date. Now, the reason you want to use an API system or a channel manager, because you want to have the ability to list the property on different platforms. If have your property or your villa listed only on one platform like Airbnb, again, you're putting yourself in a situation where uh, at a deficit, because there are many people that use Booking.com, use Verbal, use Expedia, use Marriott's Homes and Villas, and they use those platforms because maybe they're comfortable using it. Maybe they're like my wife is an elite member or something of Expedia, so she gets preferential rates when she books hotels. She's been booking hotels on Expedia now for almost 20 years. So we get about 20 to 25% automatically on any place we stay in the world once you book on Expedia. So for many reasons, all people just use their platform that they're used to. Human beings are a creature of habit.
Mhm.
So again, you want to be with an operator who actually uses different platforms. So that's the reason why we use that system, the API channel manager, is so that we can list on all the platforms so everyone can see and get an opportunity to book. All
Yeah.
eyes can see.
And how do you say it this way? You would never use a channel manager if you're a solo operator with one property. That would be like, you know, it would make zero sense at all. Like it would be like a Dumb and Dumber show, because you're not going to have a double booking if you have only one channel with one item on the
Right.
shelf. But that said, um, channel managers are an absolute necessity for a professional organization that's managing tens and tens and tens or hundreds of properties, to make sure that, it's like an airline. You have to be able to control the situation, and it allows us to get well, accountability for in terms of availability, um, managing rates, managing the accounting or the room nights, the reporting. What else does it do, Peter?
The channel manager also puts you, for instance, we get 70 or 65% of our reservations from Airbnb, and the other 30 to 35% from the other channels. So think of an operator that's only using Airbnb. They're losing out on between 30 to 35% of the market outside of Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, Vrbo, Marriott's Homes and Villas. So for an operator like us, or any operator that has more than one or two properties, if you're not on the other channels, you're doing a disservice to the corporation, the business itself, and the owners. It's crucial. You can't function without it.
And I think it goes along with the saying that there's like two levels of platforms. You have the solo guy with one property, the owner marketing his own thing, and that's it. And then you have the professional version. So our relationship with Airbnb, or our access to have conversations and to debate, or somewhat debate, uh, ask for advice, etc., happens at the pro level. And immediately, if you're managing more than one property and you have it, or no, you plug a channel manager into that any platform, you're elevated into that level of professionalism. Now, for the owners in the world, there is a cost for that channel manager. And for example, what do we pay per property, roughly?
But $35.
So let me add that up for you for a second. I always freak out when I see that times 40. So $1,400. Oh, it's not going to show up wrong. $1,400 to $1,700 a month as a hardcore expense that we do not bill back to the client because it's the cost of us doing business. My headset's going to die. So that's an idea to keep in mind as well, is that the channel managers make you professional. We know what we're doing. It allows us to be more active and manage inventory well. So before I fade out in the darkness because my headset's going to draft out, we're going to wrap up this video now. We'll talk on more about on the next video. But you know how to reach us. You want to talk to us about management options, questions. My WhatsApp is 829-525-1782. Available Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sundays, I'm at the beach or sleeping, most likely, or at the barbecue on the roof of the hotel in the evening. Let's have a conversation. Let's have an open conversation. We can show you how we do it and what we do, and it may or may not benefit you, and go from there. So Peter, thanks for another great video. More in-depth conversations moving forward. Okay, guys. So thanks for watching.
Thank you. See you
Don't
next
forget,
time.
life is better at the beach. See you back at the beach soon, Peter.